Did you know the ocean is 35,876 feet deep? Humans have no chance of surviving that ocean pressure, so instead we use robotics to monitor these ocean depths, and recently we've discovered a bunch of new aquatic species. So, I took it upon myself to make a list of these weird and horrifying creatures that we call fish. Compiled for you today are 135 fish in order from the surface to the ocean floor. There might even be a bonus fish if you stick around until the end. Now, I would love to say that this list took me an afternoon, but it did not. It took me forever. And this list barely scratches the surface of all the new species and marine animals that we've been abducting. So, without further ado, the first fish we have today is the flying fish. I bet you probably already heard about this one. It's typically found no more than 5 feet deep in the water, and they have fins that allow them to glide through the air. These fish can't flap their wings and fly through the air like birds, but they have been observed propelling themselves out of the water at 35 miles an hour, and they can glide for up to 650 feet, but they only ever get about 4 feet above the water at any given time. Up next, we have some axolotl. Now, I doubt you haven't heard of these little guys, but they can regenerate their limbs, internal organs, and other body parts. Despite having lungs, they're entirely aquatic, which is God's cruel way of punishing us for that stupid Eve bitch. Also, they're very active at dawn. At number 3, we have a weird luminous lump of spaghetti, found about half a meter in the ocean during low tide. This abomination caused many people to scratch their heads in confusion because nobody knew exactly what this thing was. Eventually named the thing commonly known as the spaghetti worm. They have tentacles that can grow over a meter long, and they wrap their prey up to easily devour. Basically, a nightmare. Another nightmare that can be found in the ocean is the sheephead fish. These fish can range in size anywhere from 12 to 26 inches big and have very human-like teeth. They are also typically found only about 25 feet deep underneath the water, so you better watch your toes. The pacu. This fish is related to a piranha and also have teeth. But these guys can grow up to 3 feet long, so watch your feet. The red hand fish. The red hand fish gets its name because it's a bad swimmer, and instead chooses to walk along the ocean floor. In their defense, they have fins that oddly look like hands and will swim short distances if provoked. These fish are rare, and it is speculated that there are only 100 adults in existence today. The jawfish. The jawfish wins the Dad of the Year award. This small fish can lay up to 400 eggs at any given time, and the male jawfish will hold these clusters of eggs in their mouth until they hatch. They're also known for their ability to make tunnels in the sand, and they tend to be very territorial around these tunnels. At number 8, we have the vaquita. These 4 to 5 foot long dolphin sea creatures have only 10 living specimens to date, and they're expected to go extinct without human intervention. Not to mention, the reason that they are endangered is because of human intervention. The ribbon eel. The ribbon eel typically hides among rocks and crevices along the ocean floor. Typically found around 100 feet, the ribbon eel is nocturnal and spends most of its day resting or hiding. The flamingo-tongued snail. Commonly found on many of the coral reefs in the Caribbean, these snails are decorated with spots and appear to have no shell. But they do have a shell, it's just a soft one. Soft. The leafy sea dragon is a rare fish found southwest of Australia that looks a lot like a seahorse in disguise. Though they are closely related to seahorses, they are a different species, so cry about it. Christmas tree worm. The Christmas tree worm can come in many colors and burrows in coral reefs to live a long and happy life of up to 40 years. Wonderful. We are passing the 100-foot deep zone, and I promise you, things are only going to get weirder, so strap in. At number 13, we have the mimic octopus. Can you guess what the mimic octopus does? That's right! The mimic octopus gets its name from its ability to change its shape and size to impersonate other sea creatures. These wonderful nightmares are also experts at burrowing and navigating underground tunnels and are a rare species of octopus. Number 14, we have the blue crab. The blue crab, or the Callianectis sapidus, is the most valuable fishery in the Chesapeake Bay, selling at about $80 a dozen. Their name, translated in Latin, means beautiful savory swimmer. Also, they are blue, if that was not obvious. The bobbit worm. The bobbit worm is a spine-chilling creature that lurks at the depths of 130 feet and can grow up to 10 feet long. Their bodies are covered in bristles and have have an iridescent shimmer. Crown of thorn starfish! An adult crown of thorns can grow up to 19 arms and is typically 18 inches across. The crown of thorn starfish gets its name from the sharp 4-centimeter long spines that cover its body. The parrotfish gets its name from their vibrant colors and fused teeth, which resembles a bird's beak. Each fish has about 1,000 teeth lined up in 14 continuously growing rows. This fish also has about 80 identified species ranging in size from 1 to 4 feet long. Porcupine fish! The porcupine fish is related to the pufferfish and gets its name from the long spines that covers its body. Like the pufferfish, the porcupine fish fills its body with water to make itself larger and much harder to eat, with spines reaching 2 inches long. Alright, number 19, the stargazer. Stargazers get their name from their upward-facing eyes and unique ability to burrow itself to prepare an ambush. As horrifying as these fish look, they typically can only reach 22 inches long. So, if you happen to step on one of these guys, they would only be big enough to snatch some of your toes. Lucky for you, they are typically found at depths of 120 feet, but in some cases, they have been found to go as far as 400 feet deep in the ocean. The tunicate. The tunicate is an interesting sea creature that acts kind of like a barnacle and attaches itself to any kinds of surface. These creatures can be found on boats, docks, and even that ocean gate submarine. Stonefish. Stonefish are considered the most venomous fish in the world, which makes them crazy dangerous considering the natural camouflage helps them blend into their environment. These sluggish bottom dwellers inject their venom through their dorsal fin spine. A wound, if not treated, can cause severe pain, paralysis, and even death. Blue-ringed octopus. On the topic of venomous sea monsters, the blue-ringed octopus produces a neurotoxin that has no known antidote and can paralyze and kill a healthy adult in 20 minutes. The box jellyfish. Reaching depths of 200 feet, the box jellyfish is often called the most dangerous marine animal. If you are stung by one of these, it may be fatal, causing paralysis and cardiac arrest in just a few minutes. The box jellyfish gets its name from its odd box-like shape. The humphead walrus. Taking a break from the Lovecraftian horrors that live deep in the blue, we have the humphead wrasse, which gets their name from the prominent hump on its forehead that becomes more prominent as it ages. These cute fellers are very curious and have been known to pose for pictures. They can also eat toxic sea creatures and grow up to 6 feet long, weighing a whopping 400 pounds. That's big. Dottyback. These small and colorful fish are very territorial and can be very aggressive to intruders, but they never tend to be very harmful. The sarcastic fringehead fish. Like the dottyback, the sarcastic fringehead fish is a small fish with a large mouth that is very territorial. These bitchy boys can get up to 1 foot long, but tend to be between 3 to 8 inches. The red-lipped batfish. The red-lipped batfish is a bad swimmer, so instead it walks along the ocean floor. The barracuda. Reaching the depth of 300 feet, we have the barracuda. These fish have few predators because of their speed and size. The great barracuda can swim 36 miles an hour and grow up to 5 feet long. The vibranium fairy wara gets its name from its vibrant purple scales that resemble the color of a fictional metal from Marvel Comics. Much like Wakanda, these fish choose to keep away from most human interaction if they have a choice. The wobbegong. At 30, we have the wobbegong. The wobbegong is a common name given to 12 species of carpet shark that lurk at the depths of 360 feet. Lucky for nobody, they can also be found in shallow temperate waters. The throwback cowfish. This poisonous species of boxfish is called throwback cowfish and can grow to a maximum length of 9 inches. This creepy fish secretes toxic mucus that oozes from its skin and dissipates into the surrounding water. The throwback cowfish can be deadly to humans. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. What a wonderful thing. The flying gurnard. Finally reaching a depth of 500 feet, we have the flying gurnard. No, they can't fly, but they can glide short distances above the water and also walk on their pelvic and pectoral fins. The basket star looks like a basket, so somebody decided to name it the basket star. Another fun fact about the basket star is the fact that the basket star kind of resembles a basket. Sea nettles! The sea nettle has no brain, no heart, and no central nervous system. With tentacles reaching 15 feet or even more, their lifespan is unknown, and they do not usually pose any threats to humans. Ridley sea turtle! Kemp's Ridley sea turtle can grow up to 32 inches long, and is dubbed the smallest sea turtle species. Their name comes from Richard M. Kemp, who first discovered this species in 1880. Unlike other sea turtles, Ridleys nest during the day. Squirrelfish! Most notable for their taste and big eyes, squirrelfish are carnivorous and nocturnal, and can produce a sound with their bladder. The abalone! The abalone is endangered due to overfishing and disease. Their shells are hard and rough on the outside, but smooth and shiny on the inside. Mainly active at night, these critters eat algae and tend to hold tightly to rocks during the day. Halimede ghost pipefish. The ghost pipefish is an alien-like creature that can change its color and shape to blend into its surroundings or mimic other fish. Female fish have pelvic fins that form a pouch to carry fertilized eggs, and these fish feed on tiny crustaceans or plankton that they can suck up through their long snouts. The frogfish. The frogfish mimic their surroundings in both form and color, which means they are a master of camouflage. Pair that with the fact that the giant frogfish gets up to only 50 centimeters big, they can be extremely hard to spot in the wild. The immortal jellyfish! The immortal jellyfish, fully grown, can get up to 4.5 millimeters long, with about 90 tentacles. In response to physical damage or starvation, they return to their baby state and release genetically identical jellyfish from themselves, thus dubbing them the immortal jellyfish. Passing the 1,000 feet deep mark, we are going to run into some actual nightmare fuel. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we got some fishy to look at. The albacore tuna! Found around a depth of 1,200 feet, the albacore tuna has a very high metabolism and must consume up to 25% of its body weight in food per day, and can swim at around 50 miles per hour. Schools of albacore can stretch up to 19 miles wide. Pigfish! It's said the name pigfish comes from the chattering noise that these fish make when caught, or because these fish prefer shallow, muddy waters. The pigfish can be found around docks or piers, and even at depths of 1,300 feet deep. The firefly squid. The firefly squid is bioluminescent and can flash their lights in unisons or patterns. Scientists believe that they may be using their lights to communicate or attract prey. I like to believe that they're just vibing. These little guys grow to about 3 inches in length and become fully grown in only 6 months. Wow. The terrible claw lobster. The terrible claw lobster often gets bullied for its disproportionate claws. One is large with teeth-like protrusions, and the other resembles a normal claw. The claw's unique morphology is the subject of ongoing research, with scientists eager to understand its evolutionary significance. The red-spotted blenny. The red-spotted blenny is a pretty chill fish that only hates other red-spotted blenny, unless they are willing to do the nasty. Most blenny that are domesticated become very aggressive in tanks. Arctic whooper sculpin. Wait, let's take a break really quick and check on Pineal. This is Sir Pine. He's growing. He's been my streamer buddy. So for those of you that watch the streams, this is how big Pine's getting. He's so big that he can barely fit on one of my hands. Oh! Don't jump onto the keyboard. Say hi, everybody! You don't care. You're just living your life. Okay, where were we? The Arctic Hooper Sculpin. This interesting fish has antifreeze proteins, which allow them to survive at temperatures slightly below zero. These fish can also compress their bones in their skull to squeeze into small places. That's scary. Long-fin bullseye. The long-fin bullseye looks like a goldfish that was flushed down the drain before it actually died, and because of this, the sewer has transformed it into some kind of monster. These fish can grow 27 inches long, and if it's not obvious where their name long-fin bullseye comes from, then look it up. Dragonet! The dragonet is a vibrantly colored fish that can grow up to a foot long. The dragonet is a fish that can come in many colors depending on which one of the 139 species you encounter. Atlantic wolffish. The Atlantic wolffish is an eel-like fish that can grow up to 6 feet long. They can live for up to 20 years and have multiple rows of teeth, some of which stick out of their mouth. Like the sculpin, the wolffish has antifreeze proteins conditions that lower the freezing point. The blue whale. The blue whale is the largest animal on Earth. Moving on. The box crab. When disturbed, the box crab fold their claws in front of their face and retract their legs, forming a compact box-like structure. The name box crab comes from this compact box-like structure. Flounder! Contrary to popular belief, flounders are fucking ugly. Instead of pursuing their prey, flounders lie in wait for small fish or shrimp from the ocean floor. The bottom side of a flounder is white, while the top side is dark. Flounders move horizontally. At 53, we have a mysterious blue glue that has not been positively identified, but has sparked debate among marine biologists. Called the blue biomass, some suggest it could be a soft coral, sponge, or a tunicate, but nobody is actually sure what these things are. Sea angel. The sea angel is a mostly transparent sea slug that can range in size from 1 to 3 inches long. These sea slugs get their name from their angelic appearance and unique-looking wing-like fins. The cuttlefish. At number 55, we have the cuttlefish, which is a fish that honestly deserves an entire video of its own, but to sum up everything this amazing creature can do, the cuttlefish can change their skin color, texture, and reflection very quickly, and some are even venomous. In addition to blending into nearly any environment and being able to mimic a large array of marine animals, these fish can hypnotize their prey by using a pulsing white and black pattern. I have no idea how much it would cost to own one of these guys, but I definitely have the room in my budget. The Japanese spider crab. The Japanese spider crab can grow to about 13 feet across, claw to claw, and is found on the ocean floor around vents and holes. The smiling shark. The smiling shark was invented by God to keep humans out of the ocean, and I get the message because you couldn't catch me within the same area code of this creepy ass fish. Chambered nautilus. Evolution played a cruel trick on the chambered nautilus, giving them slow growth rates, low reproductive rates, and late maturity rates. But unlike other cephalopods, these guys can live up to 20 years. This species is thought to occur in small isolated populations at depths of 2,200 feet deep. Coelacanth. The coelacanth has 4 fins that can move in alternating patterns, similar to tetrapods walking on land. Until 1938, scientists believed that they had gone extinct, having only found fossils of this creature. We now know of 2 living species of coelacanth. To add to the mystery of this enigma, they do not lay eggs, but instead give live birth and can give birth to up to 26 babies at a time. The barrel eye fish. The barrel eye fish is easily recognizable for its translucent head and ghostly eyes. Those eyes on its head are actually false eyes, and the real ones are the 2 green balls inside of its head. Its real eyes can look directly upward when needed, giving this fish an insane field of view. Translucent jellyfish. This gelatinous fish, with an unusual suction cup on its belly, surprised a group of scientists who studied the deep sea near Alaska. The jellyfish is a blotched snailfish that lives exclusively in the North Pacific. Scientists said holding the jellyfish felt like holding a lump of jello. The vampire squid. Moving to 3,000 feet deep, we have the vampire squid. The vampire squid has the largest eye proportionate to its body and shoots a sticky bioluminescent ink. Despite their name, they do not suck blood, but instead get their name from their appearance. The tube shoulder. Some tube shoulders have light-producing organs and get their name from their shoulder sac that contains luminous fluid that can be released through a tube in their shoulder region. These fish also have naked heads and soft flesh. Why? The coffin fish. At number 64, we have the coffin fish. The coffin fish are highly toxic fish that can enlarge by 30%. They have fins for walking along the sea floor and also have lures in their eyes to attract prey. And don't you worry, because it only gets worse from here. Moving on to number 65, we have the marine hatchetfish. Not to be confused with a freshwater hatchet, which is not closely related to the marine hatchet. The marine hatchetfish is a deep sea fish that has evolved a particular body shape and bioluminescence that allows them to use counter-illumination to escape predators. This process works by matching the light intensity from the surface to cancel out the fish's shadow. Football fish. The football fish have bioluminescent bacteria that it uses to attract prey within striking distance. Only 31 football fish have been recorded since their discovery, making them an extremely rare fish. Pine is sleeping on my lap right now. He's so cute. The strawberry squid. The strawberry squid has one big eye and one small eye that it uses to look both up and down. The big eye looks upwards to spot shadows cast by prey, and the small one peers into the deep sea below. They are bioluminescent and terrifying. The Victrinella worm. On the topic of terrifying, we have a new species of polygate worm associated with decaying whale remains. Not much else is known about these creatures. The Arctic hydromedusa is usually a few millimeters to about 3 centimeters in diameter. Unlike true jellyfish, they produce their eggs on the outside of their body, while true jellyfish produce their eggs inside their gut. Known for their long tentacles with microscopic suckers and large fins which help them hover above the sea floor, recent video has been captured of the whiplash squid, but not much else is known about this creature. We're only like halfway through this list. Oh, brother. I've already been recording for 40 minutes. At number 71, the giant siphonophore. The giant siphonophore is a huge bioluminescent nightmare that can grow up to 150 feet long. This creature is a collection of highly specialized parts that grow in a chain-like fashion. Some of these parts catch prey, while others digest food, reproduce, or direct the creature's swimming habit. Moving on, we have the blood-belly comb jelly. The blood-belly comb jelly is the only genus in the family of science words, and its name comes from its crimson pigment. These little tongue twisters only grow to about 7 inches in height and 4 inches in width. At number 73, we have the snaggletooth. The snaggletooth is a species of small, deep-sea fish in the family of Stomidae. The snaggletooth gets its name from its snaggletooth and can produce light. At number 74, we have the blobfish. The blobfish has been voted the ugliest fish in the world, but its appearance is a common misconception. Because these fish live under such pressure, their body is soft and squishy, and when they're pulled out of the water, they kind of deflate and resemble a blob. At number 75, we have the frilled shark. The frilled shark gets its name from the frilly appearance of its gill slits. We know that these sharks can get up to 7 feet long, but not much else is known. The goblin shark spends most of their life in the dark where it belongs, and only comes to the surface during night. This species of shark gets its name from its goblin appearance. The short-nosed green eye. The short-nosed green eye has a short nose and green eyes. Their green eye lenses absorb light from the ocean surface, but allow turquoise-colored light from bioluminescent creatures to pass through. This helps them spot prey or predators in the deep blue. They also have dimly glowing bellies that help cancel their shadows. At number 78, we have the giant larvacine. The giant larvacine can reach 4 inches in size, and they create large houses out of mucus that can exceed 1 meter long. They use these houses for protection and to catch food. Number 79, we have the crimson jellyfish. The crimson jellyfish, not to be confused with the blood-belly comb jelly, I love saying that, can range in size from 3 to 7 millimeters depending on its life cycle stage. Roughly the size of a pinky nail, this little guy is considered immortal because of its ability to revert to a younger state in its life cycle. It can do this to avoid starvation, physical damage, and other crises. The process involves its tentacles retracting into its body and its body shrinking. At number 80, we have the narwhal. I know you've probably heard about this one, but the narwhal can reach the depths of 5,000 feet and is known as the unicorn of the sea because of its long, tusk-like tooth that can grow 10 feet. Only about 15% of female narwhals can grow tusks, which they use to hunt fish that live deep under the Arctic ice. Narwhals are also fat boys, which helps them keep warm in their harsh environments. The viperfish. Sleek, silvery, and adorned with modest bioluminescence along their bellies, the viperfish typically reaches 12 inches in size. Their name comes from their fang-like teeth and protruding lower jaw. Number 82, the telescope octopus. The telescope octopus gets its name from its tubular eyes, which are the distinguishing feature of this species. They spend most of their life suspended in water columns while they drift through the deep ocean current. Believed to be related to the glass octopus, they can change their color and texture to hide. This octopus can use poisonous chemicals to hide from predators and kill their prey. They can also lose an arm and later regenerate it. 83, the Venus flytrap anemone. anemone. This marine invertebrate resembles the Venus flytrap, thus its name, the Venus flytrap anemone. Their bodies can range in color from white to pastel shades, but the disc and tentacles are usually bright orange. When threatened, the animal can close the oral disc and retract into the stem part of its body to swim away. Some can reach up to a foot in height and diameter. Basking shark. At number 84, we have the basking shark. The basking shark is the second large living shark after the whale shark. They have 6 rows of teeth in their upper jaw and 9 rows of teeth in their lower jaw. However, their teeth are only about 6 millimeters long. Their name comes from the tendency to slowly move through the ocean basking in the sun during the summer months. These filter-feeding sharks spend most of their time swimming with their mouths open. Falco carnivorous sponge. At number 84, the carnivorous sponge, also called the hop sponge, uses their stretched limbs to filter feed and also trap small critters. At number 86, we have the whale shark. The whale shark can grow to be longer than a school bus. I wrote school butt in my script, and I didn't notice it until now. I almost just said school butt. 87, sea pen. When disturbed, the sea pen retreats into its bulbous foot. These interesting creatures can be found anywhere from shallow waters to the depths of 6,600 feet. They use their fluffy, retractable tentacle to catch plankton and other particles of food from the surrounding water. Number 88, the ribbon sawtail dragonfish. The female ribbon sawtail dragonfish tends to be bigger than the male. The female have black skin, while the males are dark brown or pale. Females have fangs with nanocrystals that make their bite stronger than a shark, but male don't have teeth. Number 89, the pearlfish. The pearlfish got its name from one specimen that was found inside an oyster. Dead and embedded within the mother of a pearl, these creatures have nothing to do with pearls, and instead everything to do with sea cucumbers, because the majority of their life is spent in the anus of sea cucumbers and many other creatures. Number 90, we have the pyrozoa. This tube-like gelatinous membrane is guided by hundreds of zooids that live inside. Some colonies have been seen to grow 60 feet. The cavity in the center at that point was big enough for a human to swim inside. Imagine swimming through the ocean and you become enveloped in a sheet of hundreds of little critters. I would pass out and die. Maris orthocana. These nightmares are very active swimmers, but are very shy, so lucky you probably will never run into them. Fangtooth. The fangtooth fish has large fang-like teeth, and this is the reason it's called the fangtooth fish. Number 93, the Pacific black dragon. The Pacific black dragon is noted for having pitch black skin, with its skin absorbing 99.95% of light. Trying to spot one of these in the deep sea is nearly impossible. At number 94, we have the colossal squid. A creature even harder to find than the Pacific black dragon is the colossal squid, which is only known from a small number of specimens. This species is confirmed to reach a mass of at least 1,000 pounds, making it the largest known invertebrate, and they have an estimated total length of 46 feet. The colossal squid also has the largest eye of any known creature to ever exist, with an estimated diameter of 12 to 16 inches. That's a big eye. Megalocarantia fishery. Following the colossal squid, we have the Megalocarantia fishery. This squid is the second largest known squid, and not much more is known about it. This just goes to show that if you come in second place, history doesn't care about you. At number 96, we have the giant isopod. This alien-like creature is related to the roly-poly. Despite being discovered in 1897, scientists have yet to extensively study this animal's biology and behavior. At number 97, we have the Greenland shark. The Greenland shark have the longest lifespan of any known vertebrate, estimated to be between 250 and 500 years. These sharks also have unique eyes, but most Greenland sharks are partially blind due to a parasite that attaches itself to the cornea of the shark's eye. Number 98, the alien shopping bag. This is an unknown species of sea cucumber that is translucent with glowing guts. Not much else is known about this creature. At number 99, we have the Yeti crab. This hairy crab with no eyes was discovered in 2005 on a hydrothermal vent near Easter Island. The bristles that cover the crab's claws and body are coated in gardens of symbiotic bacteria that the crab eats using comb-like mouthparts to harvest them from the bristles. 100, we have the glass squid. The glass squid can communicate with bioluminescence and also known to mask their shadow. Number 101, the ribbon worm. Some ribbon worms can grow up to over 100 feet long, but are usually much less than an inch wide. The Ramphogordus synjunius species can regenerate into a new worm if any part of its body is severed, except for the tip of its tail. An organ called its proboscis is used to capture and digest prey up to 3 times larger than the worm itself. Xyloplax Prince Albert. I'm not sure how to describe this one. Boschitz dorminia worm. It's a worm. The ping pong tree sponge. At number 104, we have the ping pong tree sponge, also known as the lyre sponge or harp sponge. It is a carnivorous deep-sea sponge. If you don't know what the word carnivorous means, that means they feed on other animals. These dreadful creatures entangle small invertebrates in branching appendages rather than filter feeding like its relatives. The blunt-nosed six-gill shark. An adult blunt-nosed six-gill shark can grow to be 20 feet long and weigh up to 2,200 pounds, but tend to be 15 feet long and only weigh about 1,000 pounds. The six-gill shark only has 6 gills despite its name. The deep red jellyfish. The deep red jellyfish is known for its red hue and spends its entire life in its planktonic state. This means that for its entire life it never leaves its juvenile state. It's a baby. Forever. The nudibranch. At 107, we have the nudibranch. The nudibranch has over 3,000 known species and can be found as deep as 8,200 feet in the ocean. The pink see-through fantasia. The pink see-through fantasia is a deep-sea cucumber that is usually mobile compared to other sea. The fantasia uses a wing-like collar around its mouth to swim and filter feed from sediments on the ocean floor. They are also known for their ability to punch quickly, though I cannot find much information about this. Anglerfish. There are over 200 known species of anglerfish, and they all lure their prey in with their bioluminescent antennae. In some species of anglerfish, the male are tiny, with simplified body features, and they live as parasites on their females. The chimera. This soft-bodied shark can grow up to 5 feet in length. Chimeras are also known by many names, including ghost sharks, ratfish, spookfish, rabbitfish, and king of herrings. Chimeras have a single external gill opening covered by a flap. Helmet jellyfish. As intriguing as gill flaps are, we must move on to this less exciting helmet jellyfish. This jellyfish lacks brains and eyes, but they are sensitive to light. The helmet jelly's arms are loaded with stinging cells, which inject paralyzing venom into victims. The black swallower. The black swallower can reach depths of 9,000 feet, and is known for its ability to swallow fish 2 times its size. The armored snail. Only 500 feet deeper, and you can find the armored snail, which is possibly the coolest snail to ever exist. Prove me wrong. This snail builds an outer layer of iron sulfide around its squishy bits for protection. Strange enough, researchers believe this snail doesn't eat anything, but instead, it relies on energy produced by bacteria it hosts in a large gland. This snail is also extremely rare. Squidworm, squidworm! At 114, we have the squidworm. This squidworm is the reason I can't go into the ocean. It gets its name from the 10 tentacle-like appendages on its head, which are each longer than its body. Gulper eel. Finally, reaching the depth of 10,000 feet, we have the gulper eel. This nightmare can reach 3 to 4 feet in size and use its mouth like a net to scoop up prey larger than itself. The Jobin squid. Jobin squid is a rare species of small squid found in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. They have a short lifespan of only about 4 to 8 months and oddly have a tail that can sometimes be as long as its body. 117. Deep sea lizardfish. The deep sea lizardfish has well-developed eyes, big pupils, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. Interesting enough, those fish have both male and female genitalia and can reproduce with any fish of its kind that it runs into. At number 118, we have the cookie cutter shark. The cookie cutter shark gets its name for its unique ability to cut the perfect gingerbread cookies out on Christmas Eve. Because of this, not a lot of research has been done because most researchers get freaked out. 119. The Pompeii worm. The Pompeii worm can grow up to 5 inches long and have tentacle-like gills on their head. These worms can reach a temperature of 221 Fahrenheit and be fine. At number 120, we have the glowing sucker octopus. The glowing sucker octopus is a rare, understudied species of octopus that has about 40 glowing suction cups on each tentacle. Unlike others, these guys can't use their suckers to attach to surfaces. At number 121, we have the Dumbo octopus. Named after Disney's Dumbo elephant, this octopus does not have an ink sac and reaches an average size of 12 inches. 122. The Bifrost nemertine. The Bifrost worm is a colorful marine worm found in the Caribbean that can reach over 20 centimeters in length. It gets its name from its vibrant hues. The Osedax worm. The Osedax worm lives in the bones of decomposing whales and other large vertebrate skeletons. The word Osedax comes from the Latin word for bone eating. Female Osedax worms are much larger than males, and 50 to 100 males can live inside of a single female at any given time. At 124, we have the snipe eel. The snipe eel has a bird-like beak and tiny hooked teeth. Their heads are thicker than their bodies and resemble a duck's head, and they can only grow to about 5 feet long but usually weigh just a few pounds. The megamouth shark is the smallest of the 3 known species of filter-feeding sharks, but is known to go the deepest, going as deep as 15,000 feet in the ocean. The tripod fish. At 126, we have the tripod fish. The tripod fish, commonly found in the abyssal zone, the tripod fish is a poisonous and bioluminescent little guy. At number 127, we have the obese dragonfish. The obese dragonfish has a scaleless black body and a large mouth with fang-like teeth that can sometimes pierce through their upper jaw. These swimming devils have rows of bioluminescent cells along their bodies and around their eyes. 128. Sea pig. I know we've had creepy fish after creepy fish, but at 128, we can take a break from the nightmares that lurk in the deep ocean and gander at the sea pig. The sea pig can be found at depths of 16,400 feet. These little guys get their name from their pink pigmented bodies and love the muddy sea floor. The sea pig is a type of sea cucumber that sustains itself on dead fish, mucus, and poops found along the sea floor. Gummy squirrel. Another sea cucumber you can find even deeper in the ocean at 19,700 feet deep is the gummy squirrel. Large for a sea cucumber, these guys can get up to 2 feet in length and are very flexible. Their name comes from their tail-like appendages. 130. The big fin squid. Surpassing 20,000 feet deep, we can find the big fin squid, which gets its name from its average size fins. 131. Flatworms. Transitioning back to nightmares, we have the flatworm. Reaching depths of 20,300 feet, the flatworm can regenerate its head and body if decapitated. And there are more than 25,000 species of flatworm that can range from 1 millimeter to 20 feet long. At 132, we have a sea spider. The Pycnogonida sea spider has such a small body that most of its vital organs are stored in its massive legs. The marking feature of this species of sea spider is its sucking mouth parts. At number 133, we have the grenadier. The grenadier is a bottom-dwelling fish speculated to take up to 15% of the ocean's population. These fish can dive to depths of almost 23,000 feet and are known for their pink, flaky meat with savory flavor. At 134, we have comb jellies. There are around 200 species of comb jellies, some of which are found almost 24,000 feet deep in the ocean. Not to be confused with jellyfish, which have tentacles that sting. The comb jelly does not have tentacle stingers, but instead some can have two retractable tentacles used to catch prey. And finally, at 135, we have the amphipod. Sometimes referred to as a lawn shrimp, the amphipod is less than 10 millimeters in length. 10,676 different species of amphipods have been discovered, some of which live at depths of 30,000 feet. That's insane. And that is all of the fish that I have for you here today. Thank you for watching. That took me weeks. So if you enjoyed it or you learned something, please do me a favor and leave me a like. And if you stayed until this part of the video, lucky you, there's one more fish. I told you there was going to be a bonus fish. At 136, we have the snailfish. We have a bonus fish! The snailfish is known for its soft and flexible skeleton that allows it to withstand extreme ocean pressure. These interesting fish can be found anywhere from shallow waters to 27,000 feet deep in the ocean and have weird egg-laying habits. The snailfish has been known to lay its eggs in the gill slits of crabs for safekeeping. Nightmares. Thanks for watching. You have a great day. You're ruining my outro.